Welcome to the Valley Preferred Cycling Center in Drexlertown. Service Electric Network here to bring you Friday night under the lights, UCI regular racing. Jim Krupko along with Gary Blockus. And Gary, it's Rider of the Year points and just a regular slate of events.
This isn't just a regular slate of events, though, Jim. This is the beginning of 3 weeks in a row of UCI racing. Everybody's talking about the Olympics going on right now, but these kids right now, the people racing tonight, will be earning points to qualify their teams for the 2024 Olympics. So tonight we're going to see the women's finals in the Omnium. We're going to see men's sprint finals. We're going to see women's Keirins finals. It's going to be some great racing with an international field. So the internationals are back, and it's Olympic festival.
There you go. We're looking ahead to 2024. Don't touch that tile. Cycling coming your way on Service Electric Network. There you see it, UCI track racing here at the Valley Preferred Cycling Center in Drexlertown. Some big points up for grabs. And Gary, as you noted in the open, we're not even, the Olympics for this year just kicked off, and these guys here tonight already have their focus on 2024.
Exactly. I mean, don't forget the Olympics are a year late, so they should have been 2020. So this is the year where everyone starts to accumulate points and get those World Championship points and those Olympic points. Right now we're doing the men's sprint semifinals.
This is two riders now. You may want to go over this for our viewers who are new to Valley Preferred.
Okay, this is pretty simple. It's a two-lap sprint. First across the finish line wins. Doesn't look like they're sprinting each other right now because they're measuring each other. Up at the top of the track, you have rider number 225, Jean-Wei Tang in the red. In the stars and stripe sleeve, anyway, is Evan Boone from ASCP Elite. He's from Arizona. Jean-Wei Tang is from Makunji. And now you can see them starting to bring it up. Here's the bell lap. This is where it's going to get fun. You can see Boone trying to push Tangway up because Tangway is fast. Tangway is high in the turn but comes down low. Now he's trying to get into that slipstream, and you see him getting in that. But now he's got to out-pedal him. He's got to outpace him. He's got the longer distance to go to the finish line. He's got the longer distance, and he just does it.
Nips him, and if memory serves, this is going to be three. You got to win 2 out of 3, correct?
It is best of 3. This is a UCI. This is exactly what you're going to be seeing in the Olympics when they put the Olympic racing on as well. It's going to be best 2 of 3 when they get to this stage. So this isn't just one and done. This is a lot of fun to watch, and it's neat to see the tactics how they develop on the track.
And of course, we're encouraging people to watch the Olympic cycling when it's not in competition with Service Electric.
Oh, absolutely. But you're not going to be seeing it live. You're only going to be seeing the highlight shows, the Olympic shows, because it's in Japan, which is pretty much 12 hours, a whole half-day difference. So you're really going to be seeing a compilation show at the end of the evening. During the daytime, where you can probably catch it live on some type of feed.
I did hear a rumor that many of the cyclists were saying it should come over here, but I can't confirm or deny that. But they wanted to come to Drexlertown.
I don't think it's big enough. It'd be wonderful. We could. I mean, we talked about hosting. We have hosted Olympic trials here. We've hosted Junior World Championships here. It would be wonderful. You'd have to have it covered. You'd also have to have a 250 meter track, because that's what the UCI calls for. But it would be wonderful. There's often talk about purchasing or using the property next door near where the softball fields are and the cricket fields to put an indoor velodrome there. That nothing ever came of that, but boy, that would be something, because you could use it for that, for gymnastics, for indoor handball, for a variety of Olympic sports.
And here we have our next set of risers. This is Thomas Quinn. He's number 223. And Ryer Doddick, he is rider number 34.
And again, Quinn is an edge cycling rider. He is from Royersford, which is just down the road. Doddick is from Sherwood Park, Alabama. And Dodick is in the blue. He's at the bottom. He's obligated to lead out this first lap. As you see, it's a sprint, but he sets the pace unless he voluntarily gives up the lead. Quinn is looking for any type of move Dodick might make so he can counter it. That's the advantage the person from the back has. They're trailing, but they can see the moves happen. You see Dodick with his head turned, and now you see Quinn take that dive. Quinn wants to turn this into a sprint early. He's going to do it. He's got a lap and a half to go, and he put the sprint on full bore. You hear the bell, and Dodick is firing down below. Dodick has control of sprinter's lane, so he has the shortest distance. And now at the start, coming out of turn 2, Dodick has really turned up the heat, running all over that sprinter's lane. He's got the shorter distance to go to the finish line. And can Thomas do it down the home straight? Oh, he was going fast, but not fast enough. Dodick wins that first ride.
So Dodick grabs his first win, and if Tang, I believe Jean-Wei Tang got the first one, correct?
That's it.
So right now there'll be another race. If Tang Wei wins and Dodick wins, they will go for the championship. The other 2 riders will ride, though, Gary, for third and fourth place.
Yes, they will. That was a good ride. You see Quinn, obviously, he didn't think he had the speed just down the stretch. He thought he wanted to make that sprint as long as he could and test Dodick, maybe even knowing that he may not win this 2 of 3. Trying to tire him out for his teammate Tang.
So a good run by Dodick and a good run by Tang. Always good to get that first one under your belt instead of coming in behind.
I'll tell you, these athletes were here 2 hours before this, and they were warming up on the inside. They're like on their rollers. They were riding all over the track. They're pretty warmed up, and to get into that competition phase where your heart's really pounding a little bit without moving at all, and to get that first one out of the way is a big lift.
Now, folks, if you blinked, you might have missed those first 2 races. They were each 2 laps, so 4 altogether. Now you're going to have to pay a little bit more attention. This is a men's point race. This should be, if I have it correct, this should be a 30-lapper. And Rider of the Year points are also up for grabs unless they switch.
This is the women's Omnium.
Okay, they switched it on this.
This is the elimination race. So this is what we call double take the hindmost. The last one across the line gets eliminated. They're starting off in 2 lines. There are a lot of women on this track. They're down in the sprinter's lane and up against the boards. So spanning the width of the track.
So there you have, starting down on the blue band, we have Maggie Coles-Leister, Najiri Barclaw, Kimberly Zubrist, Ruby West, Jessica Chong, Lily Plant, Vanessa Romano, and Kara King. They are down on the blue band. Up on the railing, Gar.
There we have Amber Joseph from Barbados. We have Skylar Espinoza, Sarah Van Dam from British Columbia, Canada, Devaney Collier from British Columbia, also in Canada, Elspeth Hewitt, who won her national championships last week, and just a local girl that everyone's really proud of, Christine Derricole, Alexi Costa, and Erin Atwell, another Canadian. So this is an international field with Canada, Barbados, and United States all represented. Here is the elimination race, so the last one across the line is eliminated.
Do they get 1 lap here, though, to kind of loosen up the legs?
Yes, they are, when the gun goes off. And we're live.
Somebody was lagging in the back there. I think they were really happy to hear the gun go off just there instead of a little bit sooner.
I think the whole field had to slow down a little bit so that they could get together. Here, you get a little rambunctious again. Like the sprinters, they get that heart rate going before it starts. These girls have their heart rates going before it starts, and it's just a little bit of fatigue that sets in. A little lactic fatigue, mental fatigue.
Somebody kind of wasn't ready here.
And rider number 301, it looked like, was eliminated.
301 or what was it?
901?
Oh, 30.
30.
Rider 30. That is going to be. Sure. Ruby West.
There we go. We have the start list here, and there's 9s in front of all the numbers. So yeah, you have to excuse us for that little bit of hiccup there. Now the last rider across could be rider 226.
Kim Zubrist.
Oh no, it's not her.
Nope. 201.
Rider 201. That was Christine Derricourt.
Christine Derricourt is out.
Now the field's going pretty fast, and they're pretty much dropping the last rider here. She will not catch up. Rider 18, and that would be
Jiri Barclaw. 919? No, 918, Aaron Atwell.
Yes. And coming around again. And this could be a fun race. We like this one, but no one's having fun at the back right now.
So somebody got caught down the bottom. That one was the Jiri Barclaw.
There we go.
I was just a rider ahead of myself, that's all.
There we go. And Jessica Chong was the one. She was kind of playing devil on that one. She sprinted up ahead. Now she's on the bottom of the track there. You can see trying to get into the mix of the field so she doesn't get caught in that same position again.
And here they come again. You're watching the back of the field. Oh, that's close.
Yeah.
That might be 2 riders.
237, I believe.
Espinoza. Skylar Espinoza.
Are they pulling her off?
They're going to point to her. We've had a couple weeks this year where people have refused to get off the track.
Yeah, I think she's voluntarily now relinquishing.
Yeah, there she goes.
There's an official on the far side who probably yelled it out to her. Now we're watching Rider in yellow. Is she going to make it? Ooh, Rider 15 got caught on the bottom. And that was Jessica Chong.
Jessica Chong. She should have stayed where she was. She was doing a nice job picking people off.
Yeah, it's unfortunately you get caught on the bottom like that, and there's no place to go forward to because everyone's in front of you. You have a crowd in front of you.
Now, if we run the tape backwards, that would make this race even more interesting.
That would be a true Three Stooges play. And Rider 236 is eliminated on that ride. Or 226.
Kara King, 238. 238, Kara King.
Kara King. I was just speaking with her dad, Chris. He's got a mobile bike shop. He'll come to your home. He'll come to your place of business, and they will fix your bikes. They set them up, do tune-ups, all kinds of things. Used to have a bike shop in Kutztown.
Oh, somebody got bucked. Oh, 9.
I believe that's Elspeth Hewlett.
Elspeth Hewlett, it is. She's going out early.
She was celebrating last week with that first national title, first ever national title. She really came into her own these last few weeks.
Somebody get her a Sharpie at the break so she can put a 9 in front of her. Our stat guy Nick's going to lose his mind tonight. Ooh, 29.
Right.
Is that 29?
27, 29.
Oh, that was Alexi Costa. 916.
Okay, 916. All right. Well, we're saying 916. That's not necessarily the number that we're working through. Now we've got the field stringing out just a bit. And this is going to be Kim Zubris is going to pass Rider 16. And I believe
that would be Alexi Costa.
Now she's eliminated.
Yeah, she's out.
I don't know. Zubris slowed down. Maybe she was out. Maybe Costa was out, and she didn't know it. And now
Zubris
is out. And we got another sprint here coming.
27. That would be Lily Plant
from Quebec.
Lily Plant. I wonder. Jacques Plant. Great goaltender, Jacques Plant.
Yes. Flyers made a big trade today. Their big trades the last 2 days. They got rid of Shane Gostisbehere. They picked up another defenseman. Same salary cap number, but they've lost about 4 draft picks with it.
Ooh,
right
7.
32. She looked like she made it through. Yeah. She drops off.
Oh, Devaney Collier. So we're going to go down to 3 riders? Is that my guess again?
Yep.
3 riders. Bump the field. We've got 2 more to go, and then we'll be down to our finalists. Somebody way behind helping us out. Okay, Maggie Coles-Leister.
And
one more to go.
Another one of our Canadian friends. British Columbia. Beautiful British Columbia, we should say.
Maple Ridge, to be exact.
Way down to 4.
And they separate themselves, 3 riders on the sprint.
Rider 21 goes down.
Yeah, you got me. I'm confused.
So now
Amber Joseph.
Amber Joseph is riding.
So we are down to 3 riders left on the field. Bearclaw, Van Dam, and Amber Joseph. Are they left in the field?
Joseph, I believe, is 32. And look out for her. She's had a really good week of a few months of training here in the United States and riding around. But it looks like they've all she pulled out. So she was confused too. I guess she thought she was in it, and it looks like this is
2 riders.
2 riders to go. So we weren't doing a full sprint for 3. Rider 19, that looks like Naguère Barclaw. And she is all alone. She will win this. She has one. There was no bell for the lap, which kind of confused everybody down there, I believe.
I think a couple of the riders are confused. As Bearclaw coming around now, kind of actually coasting it.
Yeah, again, she just...
So that's hers.
She just smiled. She goes, I guess I won.
So Bearclaw is the winner of the women's Omnium.
Now we'll come up to the second ride for the men's sprint semifinals.
So we are back there. So I'll look at the flags. A little wind.
But this was a strange finish for the women. They all kind of like slowed down.
Right.
Almost like somebody had a mechanical issue, but there was no double gun going off to nullify the race. There was no bell to signal the final lap.
And generally, I'm used to the lap counter showing 2 laps or 3 laps and the riders being left, and then it turns out to be a sprint, but obviously changed.
Amber Joseph is over by the podium, behind the podium flags. She's trying to call over an official to find out what happened, what transpired. I do believe the riders have some questions. But Bearclaw is the winner. She got a fist bump there from her coach. And Amber Joseph, I think she wants some clarification on what transpired there. I think they're used to racing under a certain set of criteria, and the criteria apparently didn't present itself during the race, during the end, towards the end of the race, when the field went down to just 2 riders.
So now we'll bring back a Boone Evan.
They're not bringing them up
Evan
yet,
Boone, pardon me, and Jenwei Tang.
They're not bringing them up quite yet, though. Usually, though, the men will be up and ready to go. There seems to be some discussion here. We've got like a little bit of twirling exhibition going on here.
In the infield.
My wife used to do that with fire.
Oh, they were lit on the 2 ends? How about that?
Yes. Twirl fire. It's always a thing to behold. When people don't understand how hard it is. It's easy to make it turn. It's hard to keep it going. It's harder to throw it and catch it. And then when you start doing it with fire, it's a whole different animal.
Yeah, I would agree. Little bit dangerous.
She also wants to jump out of an airplane. I don't.
Yeah, I have no interest in skydiving. One of my teachers, Kim Klotz, was a skydiver. She did 2 jumps, I believe.
Ooh.
With instructor.
Of course. Yeah. No, I've never wanted to jump out of an airplane. I've not wanted to go in airplanes at times.
You and me both.
But there's no reason to jump out of a perfectly operating airplane.
I guess just for the thrill. Although if you're good at it, I'm sure there has to be competitive parachuting would be my guess.
There's style points for free falling and things like that. I know that. Not for me. We had a friend when my wife went to Kutztown University. She worked at a local eating and drinking establishment, and one of her fellow workers was a Vietnam veteran who performed. He was a jump instructor for the troops over there when they were in. He's jumped over a few hundred times. So we had our little entertainment going on. You saw a little bit of juggling there, three at once for a while. So we have Jinwei Tang coming up.
See him in the background.
Main sprinters are
set to go.
Seated and ready to go. Getting ready to go, right? But there obviously was some confusion in that elimination race with the women.
Entertainment portion completed.
And again, that elimination race for the women, that was for Omnium points. That's a 5-event series that will conclude tonight with, I believe, with the points race. So that will happen. That will happen after the men's points race.
I want to thank our crew for being here tonight, setting up, giving you the camera shots. There's a great shot of the infield, the riders in the middle with their little tent village, and set to go. But on camera tonight, we have Dave Anderko, John Kaufman, Zachary Long, Ian Boyd, and Dylan Anderko. Thank them for giving us these spectacular shots in the round of turns. Not the easiest sport sometimes to get the camera on, especially when the races shift a little bit. You got to get the camera on the back, not the front, for a while on the race, and certainly helps us out when we get that camera shot. Can let us know who's ahead, who's winning, and sometimes when the riders, last week we had a couple times the riders almost lapped the field, or did lap the field. They get intertwined with riders who don't have a chance to win. Makes it a little difficult.
Yeah, and they deliberately intertwine to create interference a lot of times so that they cannot be passed.
Oh yeah, it's a strategy for sure.
Now we're going to have Evan Boone, number 30, in the stripe, in the starred sleeve.
And Jinwei Tang, 225. There you see Tang. Now, Gary, after the first race, do they reset and one has to be the chase?
Yeah, they reset position. So you see Tang be the low rider, lower on the track. He'll have to lead this unless he voluntarily gives up the lead. And Boone will have the opportunity to see what type of move Jinwei Tang wants to make, and he can go from there. Jinwei Tang got to push out from his coach, Andrew Harris.
Now, remember, if Tang wins this, he'll move on to the finals, and he'll take on the winner of our second match, which is Thomas Quinn and Ryan Dodig.
Now, we have a game of up and down the track here. Both riders are trying to lose each other, measure each other. It's hard to ride when you're looking back constantly.
A lot of times the riders look for that shadow when they can see it to give themselves an idea what's
looking
going
to
on.
dive down as soon as he can. He's really trying to put the pressure on from behind. Tang not having it. Tang going low early. Mark for the best 200 time is up farther on the track. Right there is where they passed it. Usually have to be higher up on the track. But now you see Boone really accelerating, getting to the slipstream of Tang. He's in that slipstream. Does he have enough to do? He does. He passes him. Little throw of the bike at the end there. You see that little push that put him over the top. So now we have this one tied at 1-1.
Boone wins the second race. Tang wins the first heat. So those guys will be back for a third. And right now we'll see Thomas Quinn and Ryan Dodig. Good run there by Boone.
Yeah, I mean, he timed that perfectly. He didn't let Tang he forced Tang to start the sprint ahead of time, not on the best 200 line. Here you go. Tang is down. He's down low. Usually you want to be higher up on the track, about two lanes up when you drop down for the 200. And here you go. You just see that acceleration. He's in the slipstream, so he doesn't have to work his head. That push of the bike. Just that. People think that doesn't work, but you saw it happen. He actually pushed the bike forward and won on that.
You youngsters, out there that want to become cyclists, take a look at what Mr. Boone did. You can push that bike. I think I've seen a couple of little guys do that. They try to get that bike ahead.
Yes, they do.
Now we'll get our second run.
Again, these bikes have no brakes. I don't think that can be said often enough. it's direct drive, so you can't just like stop pedaling. You have to continue to pedal, otherwise you're gonna like fall over or just knock yourself over if you stop pedaling. So, especially if you're going at any type of speed. So.
And that's no fun to go over handlebars.
No.
You know, like you don't want to jump out of a plane. I don't think many people want to go over their handlebars. That's not a goal in life.
It's happened quite a few times, unfortunately.
Nice article about Marty Nelsstein in the call last week.
Oh, yeah.
That was great, recounting his Olympic journey.
Olympic gold. I was there when he won the silver medal in Atlanta, and the story had a little bit run. So he lost by 1/10 of a second, too close to call. It was by 100th of a second.
Yeah,
the difference was, I mean, when you're talking about a photo finish, 1/10 of a second is a big difference. It was like literally you could put a playing card between them to try and figure out who won that second ride. And again, that was on a 200-meter track, and there's no room to come from behind. And it's Marty's tactic was always to come from behind, to use his opponent's slipstream. On a big 333-meter track like this, you certainly have that ability. But on a 200, it's rare to come from behind. And people do it, but it's much rarer.
Right, he mentioned that he was used to running from behind.
Yeah, because you'll see it here on the 333s all the time, but on a 200, it is so difficult. The banking is much steeper as well, so there's just no room to get around.
And so then you were in Atlanta with a good friend that we lost this year, Mr. Reinhardt was in Atlanta then with you?
No, Paul was not.
Oh, he wasn't there?
No,
okay, I thought
he went to Australia. He was there for the gold medal.
The gold medal, okay.
Tom Quinn looking up, making sure he doesn't get caught napping. He's trying to get his pedal stroke going. Remember, it was a long sprint last time, and it looks like Dodic just took off here and just surpassed him. Will Quinn have enough to come back? Is there enough in the engine? No, this looks like Dodic is going to win it going away. And Quinn is out of the saddle, but he's still not cutting down the distance. Dodic in that real super great position. Quinn has resigned. He's conceded. Quinn in that super aero position there. Shoulders down low, head down low. He wanted to take advantage of everything he could. And we will see Mr. Ryan Dodic from Juventus Cycling Club out of Sherwood Park, Alabama, in the final.
Yeah, it's
Alberta, excuse me. I'm saying Alabama. Alberta, Canada.
Okay, and Mr. Dodic is going to get a breather, too, because the other guys are going to have to run an additional race. And I know people want to discount that, but believe me, it plays into it.
And just look at this takeoff. He's not going to be caught. And now look at him getting that real aero position, head down, almost on the handlebars. Look at that helmet touching the handlebars pretty much. And Quinn knew that he wasn't going to catch him. And Quinn just said, well, I'm going to save my legs for a different day. So we have one finalist determined. One more to be determined, and a third ride between Evan Boone and Jinwei Tang. Dodic winning in straight rides over Tom Quinn.
And now we're scanning out the Rider of the Year points. Dakota Stein just ahead of John Kroom by 3. Brad Green a little bit of a distant third at 41. Michael Miller 41 and 31, and Andrew Duddle 26 are the top 5, and you can see the rest of the riders there on your screen.
They're just grabbing a point here or there.
It's always good to play that spoiler.
Yes, it is.
And you want to get on the board for points. I mean, that's always any competitive athlete. Anytime they can put up a number, they're going to want to do that.
Few people start right at the top. Picking up that first point is something significant. I mean, Elspeth Hewitt is a case study in that. Two or 3 weeks ago, she came up with her first Friday night victory in the Artie Greenberg 5 mile. Then she comes back with her first ever national championship. I believe she's 31 years old. That's just a tremendous stick-to-itiveness, tremendous mental fortitude to stay with it that long and finally have that kind of great success.
This one is a big run. We got a 90 lapper on the card right now.
This is a points race.
So every 6 laps, I believe it's going to be, the rider will pick up points. So this is Rider of the Year also, 30 kilometers. And as you see there on the graphic, great job. There are points every 6 laps given to the riders. So you got to keep tabs.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. But when you go to the really elite places like the Olympics, they'll actually have a scoreboard up that will tell you the winner of the lap and all the places for the lap, who has the points and the cumulative points. Makes it much easier to follow. And this is still one of my favorite races. It's just so hard to follow it watching without the aid of
without a scoreboard. Yeah, I agree. Pretty full field of the elite men.
I don't think we can name them all.
No. Well,
it'll take to the end of the race to get through all the list of names here.
Yeah, we'll go through as best we can during the race. Daniel Brewer is the top guy on the list. Daniel Brewer, Michael Miller, Robert Mayfield, John Kroom, of course, wants to grab those Rider of the Year points. Danielle Matthew, Tristan Manderfield, Ryan Jastrab, Akili Campbell, Jamal Eastman, another familiar name here at the Velodrome over the years, Matthias Gumet, Christopher Heineman, Jackson Kinberg, Sam Morris, Ethan Ondrechuk, Dennis Ramirez, Connor Salee, Edwin Sutherland, Dakota Stein, Andrew Duddle, Bradley Green, Billy Taylor, and Cesar Gallego. That's our first sheet. That might be everybody, actually.
Looks like there's more than that.
It does, but I'm not sure.
We only have one sheet.
We got them. We did it. We covered them all. The other sheet's just a different race with most of the same riders. Huh? So they are off 90 laps.
And this will be fun to watch as they see what tactics. If you lap the field, you get extra points, which goes a long way in the standings.
I'm always, as many years as I've been doing this, I'm always impressed how they can ride so tight, so close, and very few mishaps. A testament to their professionalism and their experience.
Practice, practice, practice. And we say few mishaps, but last week at Nationals, we saw quite a few crashes. So this is a little bit more experienced field now with some international riders here. And we've got a rocket ship going off here. The breakaway group already early. Group of 5. Now I've got one man saying, no, we're not going to let that take place. That's Akil Campbell from Trinidad. He's trying to catch that group of 5. And now the peloton is stringing out, and they're saying, wait a minute, we can't let the whole group of 5 get away, maybe 6.
They're going to try, though. They're really pressing that.
That's being led by Ryan Jastrab and Tristan Manderfield. Tristan Manderfield is riding for the U.S. Military Endurance Sports. He's out of Colorado Springs, so he may be a member of, I'm not 100% positive, but he could be a member of that elite U.S. military team.
Nah, the peloton, you called it. The peloton said, no way. We're not letting you guys put us in the rear view mirror, and they have already reeled them in.
Connor Salee at the back of the group there, and that group of 5 has now abdicated. They've swung up the tracks. The pace is slowing, and we have a rider down below who says, "Okay, I can get in front of you guys. I'm riding less. I'm not up on the banking. I can go fast too."
That front group, no Moss, they already backed it off.
Right.
Nah, nobody wants to. They do know there's points coming up.
Yes, they do.
That was Cesar Gallego leading that one out, but now we got a little group that's
another breakaway
fractured.
Group of 6 with his first sprint coming up.
the group of 6.
One slap. Here's the bell for the sprint. You see everyone starting to accelerate.
Is that Stein?
Or 241, Bradley Green leading that group.
That's Bradley Green in the black and white striped jersey.
Not to be confused with Bradley Cooper.
Or Keegan Bradley.
Group of 6 in front. They're going to grab all the points.
Here they go.
Got a rider in red coming across the top. He says, "I don't know. Look how tight they are. Look how tight." Rider 4, they're jawing at each other too. That's Edwin Sutherland with the points.
Sutherland.
Followed by Sam Morris, and they were yapping at each other. They were yapping at each other as they crossed. They're still yapping. Didn't like how tight that was. Sam Morris did not like how tight that was. He thought Edwin Sutherland was just a bit too close for comfort on that.
He's got the points though. Wow, that's the first time we've had in a while trash talking between the lanes. We just can't hear it up here, but that
used
one
to be
was
a regular thing back in the day. In the 90s, that's all they did was trash talk.
We could see them though from here.
80s and 90s, that was fun. It wasn't fun sometimes afterwards.
A copy of that transcript will be available on the Valley Preferred website after the race today. Well, I got another
Danielle Matthews.
Matthew leading it at 19.
From Kutztown, Belleville Cycling Club. You like to see the Kutztown riders. That's why first I was visiting my wife in Kutztown at Kutztown University when I first discovered the velodrome. I was just amazed.
Are the riders, do some of the riders still live in the dorm? They used to dorm riders
They
years
used to, I don't
ago.
know if they still do. There used to be an agreement.
That was John Kroom. That's the guy. I'll say it again. He spells doom. John Kroom.
Doom spells doom. Matthias Guillemet, rider number 36 from Trois-Rivières, Quebec.
Yep. That is Guillemet. Matthias. Sounds like a biblical name, Matthias.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. When was the last time you heard those names coming from the Middle East?
Here they go.
Coming up on the sprint.
Next set of points. Sutherland took the
Tristan Manderfield
first batch.
leading that one. He's still leading. Now you see riders coming over the top. And boy, are they coming over the top. They've got some
spillage. Kroom.
You can see that arrow form with the helmet down low towards the handlebars.
Is Kroom going to hold him off?
First place here.
No, he got nosed at the line. That was
Guillemet. Yes.
He knows Kroom.
Kroom. He spelled doom for Kroom that time. There's 2 sprints in.
2 sprints in, and we have Sutherland and Guillemet, the winners.
They're all winners.
This one, I think Kroom's going to go after big time. I think he really won that second sprint.
Yeah, I think he just he felt a little comfortable, it looked like, in that lead position, and he didn't really feel the speed coming from behind him. Shadows are, again, the riders try to react to shadows as well, and the shadows on the home straight just aren't, the whole home straight is shaded, so he couldn't see the shadows of the rider coming up behind him. As you see right now, it's like almost shadowless for those riders because the shadow's on the wrong side for them to look. On the back straight, it's perfect because they see the shadows uphill. On the home straight, they don't.
Well, somebody's jumped out front here.
This is a flyer, 3 laps till the sprint.
That's Mayfield.
Mr. Robert Mayfield, another Colorado Springs rider. And this is a beautiful night for the people from Colorado who are used to like thin air, and the heavy air with the humidity really hurts. I remember talking with everyone who came back training from Colorado Springs. They all said, "Oh, the air feels so thick here." It was all because of the humidity. It wasn't so much the elevation; it was the humidity. So right now, with no humidity, this has got to feel really comfortable for him.
Mayfield, can he hold him off?
He's got one more lap.
He's got to get the bell next time around. Here they come, though. They're feeling a little more.
Hey, Mr. Morris is leading the group
energy.
there. They're about a third of a lap back, but that's not enough to overcome. I mean, that they can still overcome that for this sprint as they start accelerating. Here we've got the bell. And what are we going to see a race for second, or are we going to see somebody try to contest for first? Looks like we're going to go to race for second here.
Mayfield still out there. A couple riders push. Groom in that gang.
Mayfield looks like he's suffering a little bit. He's just kind of keeping tempo there.
He's going to get these points, but I think he's going to come back into the pack.
You got the field coming, but you will see Mr. Mayfield hold on here for first place. The race is for second. The race is for second. And we have rider number 17, I believe that was, John Kroon.
But Mayfield now relegates himself back to the back of the
He's
pack.
just swallowed up by the pack. Rider 31 is way back right now. That's rider 28. That is Tristan Manderfield trying to take off again. We've got a rider in the back who's going to be lapped. Manderfield will be lapping a rider in a moment. Probably before we hit the start-finish area. And he pulls up. He gives way, shorter distance. There's rider 37, Christopher Heineman from Edmonton, Alberta. And it looks like he may end up pulling out. He's riding high in the track. He may be having an issue with his bike. But he's falling behind. He's lapped by the entire field. He may be pulling himself out.
Right now, it looks like is Manderfield out in front.
He's still pushing it.
28, is that Manderfield?
Yes, it is.
So they got to reel him in. He got a little bit ahead, but now he is backed off, and here comes the peloton behind. Small group has broken away, but here they come. So they're going to catch Manderfield.
One more lap to go for the bell. Manderfield pulling up. Maybe he's trying to regain his breath. He's out of the saddle. He wants to match. Kinneberg, Jackson Kinneberg, number 38, another Alberta rider, the Canadian. And that group of 6 is just joined by 3 more, and the rest of the field is back. And we've got the bell.
Can Kinnefield now hold him off, as Manderfield did? Or sorry, Mayfield. Mayfield, Manderfield, and Kinneberg.
And I think they're going to be able to contest for first here. There's a push.
Here they come.
That's 36. That is Guillemets with the win, followed by Jastrab.
Or Kinneberg. Did Kinneberg get that?
Oh, 38. Yes.
Yep, Kinneberg. Kinneberg snuck in there. He's going to take the lap. Peeking under the right shoulder. 65 laps to go.
Daniel Brewer leading the pack. 3 riders off the front now. Led by Brewer.
Broom has 8 points as I have it, and Edwin Sutherland 7, Ryan Jastrab 6, Robert Mayfield 5, and a couple actually riders with 5. It's Mayfield, Gamay, and Kinneberg with 5. A couple, and then we have Morris with 3, and the other riders kind of down. They'll need to pick up a win to grab some points.
And Morris is in this lead group, along with Brewer, lead 3. They're trying to push the pace, trying to get distance on themselves. They've created a big schism.
I haven't seen any riders retire yet that I saw cut into the infield.
We've got 3 riders getting ready to catch the back of the pack. They will get bonus points for lapping the field. We've got another group of 3 riders that are about a half a lap behind them as we hit the bell. And the peloton is much more than a half lap behind the leaders. We have a second group of 3 that are riding, trying to work together, a half a lap behind, trying to catch the leaders on the track, who appeared ready to lap the field. There's Race.
That looks like it's Kinnabaugh and Morris right now, picking up those points on that lap. But there are a couple riders now close to being overtaken by the field. All right, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the finish of this race from the Valley Preferred Cycling Center. And there you see our riders, and leading the race right now is Ethan Agrosnik with 40 points out of Vancouver, BC. Jastrab is second with 37, pardon me, and Matthias Guimé has 31.
And this has been an interesting race for sure. The field has been lapped. There are actually riders with minus points at this point in the competition. We've got the sprint on now for the points. There are only a few riders eligible because you have to be on the lead lap to be eligible. You see this big group coming here down the background. The big sprint here for first and second. We have rider 36. That is Guillemets with the victory on that lap. That he was in third place with 31. That 5 points will give him 36. He'll still be in third place overall. And I said these points races are so difficult to score when you're just watching them, but when that scoreboard is up and the points are shown, boy, they are so much fun to watch because you know where everybody is, where they stand on the track.
And we got Grodznik with 40, still leading. So he's got to stay, though, Gary. His strategy is going to have to be hang near the top of the pack for certain.
And he's got to get those sprints. That's the most important thing right now.
And it's generally what, 5, 3, and 1 point, or
it's 5, 3, 2, and
1. 5, 3, 2, and 1 point. So you can only pick up points in the first 4 spots, and they pick up points every 6 laps.
You got 3 more sets of points.
3 more sets of
12,
points to go out.
And 0.
And there's a point to the leader from the judge.
And you'll notice that the judges tonight have face masks on, and that is per UCI rules regarding the international COVID crisis, the pandemic. UCI has mandated that its officials and staff wear masks during UCI events.
So the biggies to look for right now are Jastrab, who is just 3 behind.
It's the rider number 29.
Matthias Guimé.
Rider 36.
Is 36. So should either of those guys pick up points and Grodznik pick up no points?
Yeah, Grodznik from Vancouver, British Columbia. We've got the sprints going again.
There they go. And we're looking for number 41. And Jastrab is 29. 41.
41 in the yellow sleeves and the black polka dots.
And here they come.
And you saw Grodznik just kind of back off.
And Michael Miller, if he was in there picking up some points.
2 more sprints remaining in this race.
They'll go down to 6, and then they'll go down to 0.
Here are the leaders
So
right
Guillemets has 56. Brewer has moved in with 50 points. Also followed by Kinneberg, 50. Jamal Eastman has 46. Connor Soleil, 44. And Ethan Ogrodnick has dropped down, Gary, with 40. He's dropped down to 5th spot.
now. So since we came back, he has not accumulated a point. I think we were probably a sprint behind on those point accumulations. Is one of the reasons why you see that big jump to 50 from 31. These are your 2 leaders on the track right now. Rider 46, that is Edwin Sutherland, and rider number 12, Mike Miller. But they are not the leaders in point at the moment. They are trying to separate themselves from the field big time here.
They're actually working together.
Yes, they are. They've got about a third of a lap lead.
Sutherland and Miller, there they are.
John Groom.
And Miller moves ahead.
John Groom putting on a blitz there.
He's kind of hung out, though, by himself. He's not with the peloton. He's not with the leaders.
He's on an island.
He has a little bit to go. Here is the lap.
For a sprint.
Sutherland and Miller, we're going to keep our eye on those 2 riders.
Miller's leading this out. The field is coming back. Looks like they might catch them to make a great finish here for the final lap.
But Sutherland's going to take the 5. Miller's going to pick up 3. I'm not sure if Jastrab is in there. We'll try and get a reading. So Brewer's in 3rd place. Sutherland, Miller, and Brewer rounding out the point leaders. We'll try and give them to you as soon as we can.
And the 2 leaders are still holding on. The field just shot up the track. We have some riders trying to pursue them low. They're going to wait, bring it all back together. John Kroom leading that bunch. But right now, we have Daniel Brewer. And again, the field just kind of pulls up.
Brewer's got 52. Gomez has 56. Kinbaugh with 50 total points. Jamal Eastman 46. So we were on the kind of the wrong leaders there, Gary.
Ah. Okay, so we have Brewer and Miller.
But they're way down on the points list. That's what's interesting.
Yeah, well, they're leading from the field point perspective. I guess the judge keeps pointing to them.
He does, and generally when the judge points to the riders, that's who's leading the race. But with the points, that's probably not the case, unfortunately. But now we do have a big gang ahead of the peloton.
I believe the confusion probably comes from lapping the field.
Could be. So Brewer is making a move, and Dennis Ramirez, number 42. We're gonna have to sort this all out pretty much when they're done. That's what we've had, as I mentioned at the top of the show, sometimes it gets a little confusing.
We will have
as the riders are leading laps or leading the field, or they're the lead rider that everyone's chasing.
And this is a 3-man sprint to the finish.
For the last set of the 5 points.
This is a tremendous sprint here.
It's a shame the scoring is lost on this great finish.
Sutherland really pushing. Sutherland will take that lap, followed by Eastman.
And it looks like Brewer is signaling that he's got the points win.
Brewer thinks he has the points win. From the last look we saw, it did not appear that way. It'll be interesting to see how this one shakes out with the points. Again, it's a lot easier to keep track of it when you're seeing the scores, you know, as they happen.
So they're saying Brewer won the points, but we haven't seen an official final points.
Yep, now he's being...
So Daniel Brewer is going to be in the points race final, or the winner of the points race.
But it's determined by who went best place in the last lap.
So Daniel Brewer, 56. Gamay tied with 56. Eastman had 52.
But it's based on the finish.
Kinberg was on 50, so it's based on the last finish.
Based on the finish in the last lap.
So there you go. Brewer is the winner. Got a little complicated. Not as quite as cut and dry as one might think.
No, I think at the Guimé, when he didn't get into that group, that obviously hurt him then, because he could have picked up another point, which would given him the win regardless. But he just got pinned back.
Now we'll see what's coming up.
We do have the third and final ride in the men's sprint semifinal.
This one between Evan Boone, Jean-Wei Tang. There, a look at some of the crowd in turn number, is that turn number 4? Is that the infield?
That's the infield.
That's the infield. It is the infield. Thought it was turn 4 with some of the spectators. A nice little crowd up in turn 4.
Yeah, we have the velo deck. It did kind of look that way underneath the tent. Here we have Jean-Wei Tang in red, Evan Boone with the starred sleeve coming up to the start line. Getting ready to go. It's Andrew Harris holding Jean-Wei Tang. Tang won the first ride, Boone the second. Both won from the trailing position.
Right now, though, in this elite men's sprint, nobody is dominant as Ryan Doddick, who we're going to see in the final. That second race, he just torched it.
And then the first race he had, it was a long sprint. It was basically a lap and a half sprint, and he still won. He's got some tremendous power and power with endurance for a sprint.
So this is for someone to take on Doddick.
That is Andrew Harris holding the coach of Edge Cycling, holding Jean-Wei Tang, giving him a push off. Tang has to start in the lower position again. This gives Boone the chance to match whatever Tang wants to do.
Here you see Tang now. He's got the inside position, I guess. That would be not the top track position.
The lower position. It's the lead position.
Evan Boone stays on his wheel.
They're picking the speed up now. Boone dropping down. He can't overtake him on this lap unless he's conceding it. He's letting him take it. So now they're going to paint the paint up at the top of the track. They're up there. And Boone trying to take him into the boards. This is a good race. Tang's got a long way to go. Boone's got a much shorter distance to the finish line. And that is a good 200-meter line. Tang up way too high on that. Tang's in pursuit, but it looks like Boone will hold him off. Boone just made Tang ride the longer race. And you have in the finals will be Evan Boone from Sierra Vista, Arizona against Ryan Doddick from Alberta.
Now, Gary, you're saying he really took this race down the backstretch in turn 3 when he got him pinned up against the wall. They were pretty close to then, or Jean-Wei Tang looked like he was running a race he wanted until all of a sudden it got flipped.
Oh yeah, until all of a sudden he was held up at the top and he didn't have any room to maneuver. Meanwhile, as they came out of turn 2, that's when Boone took a great 200-meter line that where you want to get your best speed, the best line for the fastest speed you can do in a 200 meters. He got it. Tang was way high. It's just harder to go, longer distance, and it's a slower line to the finish besides.
So Jean-Wei Tang will take on Thomas Quinn for 3rd and 4th place.
Correct.
in the sprint. And obviously we'll have Evan Boone and Ryan Duddick. And we're going to go trackside with Mr. Brewer.
Atlanta, Georgia. And what do you do, my man?
I'm actually a customer service agent at Wahoo Fitness.
I know that place. I think we've talked based on our Wahoo experiences together, actually. Now, Daniel, you had a great nationals last week in the points race, but tonight it looked like you had the math in your head, because when you crossed that line, you knew you won. So what was your tactic going into those final few laps?
Well, I knew there was only, I think, 2 or 3 of us on 2 laps, so I just had to be aware of those guys. And when, after the penultimate sprint, the couple of riders snuck off, I knew I just needed to follow it, make sure there was only 3 or 4, and come up, with the 4 points. Unlike the Nationals points race where I didn't know what was going on.
So you knew what was going on tonight. That's great to hear. And Daniel, if people want to be following you on social media, what should they be following?
My Instagram handle is catfood. That's KATFUD.
All right, Cat Food on Instagram. It's Daniel Brewer, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for our UCI points race winner here tonight.
I want to thank Gabe Lloyd for that interview trackside with Mr. Brewer. And here now a look at the women's Rider of the Year points. Kim Zubris, great run last week with 58, was holding off Elsbeth Hewlett at 54, Colleen Gulick 52, Jessica Chong 45, Skylar Espinoza 39, and you see the rest of the players who have accumulated points.
It's a much tighter race than in the men's for sure for Rider of the Year. Right now we're having the UCI Elite Women's Omnium points race final.
This will be 60 laps for the women.
And this will be the final race of the Omnium for the women. The Omnium meaning overall, so they contested 3 events this morning, 2 this evening. They did. It's a big field again.
I'm not sure if we've covered all the women on the roster for tonight, so we can handle that. We covered the women's Keirins, I believe, earlier in the evening.
So this will be the same field that was in the elimination race with Maggie Coles-Leister, Miguel Baraclow, Kim Zubris, Ruby West, Jessica Chong, Lily Plant, Vanessa Romano, Kara King, Amber Joseph, Skylar Espinoza, Sarah Van Dam, Devaney Collier, Elspeth Hewitt, Christine Derricole, Alexi Costa, and Erin Atwell.
Those are the ladies that are competing. They will go again, same as the men. There will be points given out. 5, 3, 2, and 1. 6 sets of points.
This is 20 kilometers, so it's 60 laps. And the thing to note here is this is for the Omnium. This isn't for like the points race. This is for the women who are in the Omnium.
That's the points all on the day.
Correct.
Not the Rider of the Year that we generally are gathering. See, they're kind of right now feeling one another out. Generally, after that first 2 or 3 sets of points are given out, that's when you see some of the riders surrender.
And this morning for the Omnium, the women had the scratch race and the tempo race.
Good weather this morning for riding for the first session.
This has been a beautiful day.
Ruby West leading it out right now. I'll get the bell shortly.
And that's when all heck breaks loose, as they say.
Yeah, that's where you'll see the sprinters decide to make a move. There they go. There's the bell.
Kim Zubris leading the charge.
Is she going to hold everybody off? A couple riders closing in on her. Zubris out in front.
Look at
Somebody caught her. Somebody already jumped down and through. Great headshot there, heading into 3 and 4. Should have got that camera, we could have been able to catch her penny.
Lily Plant, I believe that, or no, Colleen, Maggie Coles-Leister.
Maggie Coles-Leister picked up the 5.
So she's Maggie. You know, she's been here quite a bit actually. T-Town is one of her tracks that she races at frequently. So it's nice to see her back in town.
So Coles-Leister we know has 5. We're trying to see. Oh, there we go. Najiri Barraclaw has 3. Amber Joseph 2, and Alexi Costa 1.
So truly international field there with Canadians and Americans and Barbadosans. Barbadosans?
Barbadians? Ah, you got me. I'm going to put money on Barbadians if we get a chance to talk to her after the evening concludes.
Amber riding for a big-time team now. She's done some pretty big hemispheric races over the past 2 months. Got rider 16 taking a flyer here. I do believe that's Alexi Costa.
She's in 3rd place, needs to make a jump. So Costa going to try and pick up. If she can pick up the 5, she'll jump into the lead spot.
Coles-Leister is an experienced racer for sure. And it's nice to see women like her competing, you know, week in and week out.
So again, Coles-Leister right now with 5 points.
There's Vanessa Romano leading the pack there. From Allentown, PA, ready for Philly Bike Expo, powered by Velo John. John, J-A-W-N, like the infamous Philly word.
Somebody cracking out there in the lead.
Here we go, it's the bell lap.
2:37, that's got to be Skylar Espinoza.
So she's out for the big charge going forward.
There she is, Skylar Espinoza.
She's got a group of 4 girls chasing her down.
Here they come. Big time on her.
I believe Amber Joseph is in that. Amber Joseph in yellow. She's going to take her pass. Will she get past? So it's
she does.
Amber Joseph followed by Coles-Leister.
So Joseph picks up 5. Coles-Leister picks up 3, so she's got 8 right now. I think Costa may have nabbed 1. I didn't see if Barraclaw snuck in for any points on that second giveaway.
Amber Joseph has been coming here for several years as well. It's nice to. Last year was, with the whole COVID climate was an abomination, but it's nice to see these ladies back on track, back on our track.
Amber Joseph, well back in the pack. We've got to find. Scope out Maggie Coles-Leister.
I do believe that was Lily Plant.
Lily Plant.
Now we've got Costa back up front, pulling up. Got 4 laps to go for the sprint.
Amber Joseph right now with 7. Maggie Coles-Leister with 8. With Barraclaw with 3. Sarah Van Dam with 2. And Skylar Espinoza with 1. So I'm not sure where I got Amber Joseph. I thought she took that second set of points.
I thought she did too.
They're not showing Amber Joseph. Yeah, they're showing her. She does have 7.
Yeah, that's that. She finished
Third.
fourth, and then 5 for the win in the last sprint.
So right now it is Joseph with 7, Coles-Leister with 8.
The leader on the track right now is Ruby West. trying to push the pace, but she's going to be caught just as we hit the bell.
There it is. The other riders knew where she was.
No hurry, no worry. It's rider 918.
Erin Atwell.
Erin Atwell. And she's got a little bit of a gap there, but now you see the speed coming on. You see the push. Going a little bit high on the track there.
Joseph, though, back in the pack, is not going to get points for this set.
It is rider 19, Gabe Barraclaw.
Barraclaw does pick up another set of 5, so she should now have 8 by my count. Lily Blunt took 2 points.
Now you've got the field stringing out. You've got a pace pusher here in rider number 21, Maggie Coles-Leister. She is pushing the pace, saying, come on, girls, let's get this going. Let's break away. And you have a group of 3 off the lead there, off the front. Amber Joseph has moved up. She's in the peloton right now, but she says, uh-oh, I can't let these girls get away from me. But she is right now.
Here she is making a move,
27
though, down
Elite
low.
Plant in that group.
Can she join the crew? We have Barraclaw and Coles-Leister each with 8 points by my count.
The field has a will. The will says we will not let these leaders get away. They are going to be with us. And now there's another attack
group.
on the
How
field.
about this? They're going
There's another attack.
down low.
And that is Kim Zubris on that charge. She laps it.
Zubrist making a move, but still a couple of laps before they go to another set of points.
Swapping, they're working together. But now they pull up, let the field come back. I think they're getting ready. You know, the sprint's coming up. They don't want to waste all their energy.
And it's tight with the riders who have points.
There's Hewitt and Zubris working in tandem. They know they need points. But now the whole field pulls up, and they're going to be waiting to hear the bell for the next
lap.
point sprint. And one rider will be lapped. See it now. One rider in the field has been lapped. And we are off.
Barraclaw and Coles-Leister each with 8 points. Joseph with 7. Joseph leading it out. Would love to pick up a 5 spot.
There's a nice razor move there, slicing between 2 riders, but now she's getting passed on the back straight.
By, I think, Coles-Leister.
Coles-Leister, if that's her, she's refusing to give up, refusing to concede. It is Coles-Leister.
21.
But now Amber Joseph pushing through.
Amber Joseph and Coles-Leister, they're going to pick up the first set of points. Joseph now goes to 12. And Coles-Leister goes to 13. We'll be back after a short break with the finish of the women's sprint. And we are back. There you see it. The Elite Women's Omnium here at Valley Preferred Cycling Center. Jim Kripke along with Gary Blockus, and we'll try and give you the points leaders. They're going to be...
This is the points race in the Omnium, the 4th event. Amber Joseph is your leader on the track with 20 points. She's also the leader in the Omnium. Coles-Leister is second with 18 points in the points race, and Barraclaw is third with 13.
So there you have it. Those really are the 3 riders that have a chance to win this race on points wise. If anybody else in the field right now are really just playing a spoiler role.
Right, and Amber Joseph sitting there in second wheel right now in that yellow and blue kit, bright canary yellow. Our friends at Allen would love it. She just pulled up, and there was a breakaway on the track.
13 laps to go.
Coming up to the bell here for more points. We've got a mad dash.
There's a lot of juice in those legs.
I believe that's rider 231, is that? 237, Skylar Espinoza.
She is way out. Nobody's going to catch her. She's going to pick up the 5 points for sure.
She's got maximal effort for maximal points on this lap. But now the field sprint to get second, third, fourth place points. Amber Joseph settled back. She's not going to pick up any points in this sprint.
Espinoza picks up the 5.
But we have right
And then
226. Vanessa Romano picking up second place points, and Maggie Coles-Leister picking up third place points.
So she grabbed 2. Maggie Coles-Leister, that puts her at 20. She should be tied now with Joseph. So that next 2 sets of points, Gary, going to be huge for Joseph and Coles-Leister.
I think Joseph is just kind of like keeping pace in her head here. She's not pushing it. She's only pushing it when she has to. I think it was lap 18. She took first place, so she kind of like took that one off. She's now back in the lead group with 6 riders. She's in 6th place in the current field. Riders just swapping up and down at the lead, taking their turn of a pull. 10 laps to go. It's Jessica Chong leading them out there. Rider 915.
Barraclaw is stuck at 13. Coles-Leister and Joseph, they've got 20. I wonder if anybody hit a 3. I think Joseph hit a 3 something, right?
Almost would have had to if she had a 7 at one point.
Yeah. So she did bag a 3.
Every point counts.
There you go. I'd probably tune in to watch NBA players in a 5-lap bike sprint.
Oh, I wouldn't. They might be too big and too uncontrolled.
I wonder if those 7-footers could handle one of the bikes. That would be
years ago. There's a rider, Jerry Ash, and he had to be about 6'5" or 6'6", and they called him the Giant, and he was like a big tree out there.
Jerry Ash, I did see him ride here.
And don't forget, Marty Milstein is like 6'3". He was a tall boy too. That's Aaron Atwell, I believe, leading right now.
Yes, Aaron Atwell is indeed leading. Well, you don't get the nickname the Blade. You know, they don't throw that on 5'9" guys.
No, actually, they call him the Blade for like producing that razor move that we saw Amber Joseph do, I think, on the first sprint when she split the 2 riders. And we have the bell. This is the penultimate sprint. Atwell being unchallenged on this.
Wow, the crew just willing to cough up that first set of 5 points. Either that or great moves by these riders playing the spoiler.
Kim Zubers leading the field.
Out. Zubers leads the peloton, but that's Atwell. She's going to coast it on home for the 5.
Coles-Leister coming over the top. She wants, but here comes Joseph. This is going to be a race for second place points, important second place points. Joseph, a longer road to the finish line, but she really wants it. She knows where she sits. Coles-Leister is going to be passed by the next rider behind her. But I think it was Lily Plant. So Lily Plant robbed Coles-Leister of a point. That puts her back a little bit further behind Joseph for the overall lead. But meanwhile, you do have Atwell continuing to lead.
5 laps to go. So I have Joseph at 23, Coles-Leister at 21.
And this
2
will be
points behind, so now it's going to be up to Joseph.
setting up a fantastic finish. Got Jess Chong there chasing down the field.
Is anybody going after Atwell? Here comes someone to push Atwell.
4 riders going at it.
Joseph kind of lost in the middle of the field.
She's
with 4 to
marking,
go.
but Joseph is marking Coles-Leister. Whatever she wants to do, she wants to finish ahead of Coles-Leister in this next sprint, not finish 2 places behind her as Coles-Leister did on her. That is the most important thing on her mind right now. She doesn't want, she's just marking her. Now she's taking the lead on her.
Atwell still out in front.
This is, one woman is an island right now. We got 3 riders behind her though, led by Jess Chong, who just took the road up. They're pursuing her.
Atwell, legs look like they're getting a little tired.
You got a second group. Zubers. You got Atwell and 2 groups of 3. Now the rest of the field coming up. laps to go. Atwell will be cut on this juncture here.
That was a pretty impressive run in there in the middle by Atwell, though.
Jess Chung and her group just about to catch her. Now the rest of the groups, the rest of the attack groups have caught up. There you see Amber Joseph coming down the back straight. She's got her eyes on Coles Leister. She's not going to let her get away. And Atwell will be chased down, will be overtaken. Here we have the bell for the final sprint. And Joseph putting on a display here, trying to match Coles Leister.
Bearclaw made a little bit of a move. 13 points, could be the spoiler, but Joseph
Coles Leister
knows
going over
what
the
she
top.
needs.
Joseph going over the top of Coles Leister. They are high on the track. They're out of the sprinter's lane. They are contesting it in the longest distance they can get to the home straight, home finish. And there we have Joseph. Joseph with the lap win, with the race win, and I do believe with the overall Omnium win as well.
So Amber Joseph is going to pick up the 5 points. She's going to take this race at 28 win, and looks like she should be the Omnium points winner also.
That was just a great ride by her, a smart ride by her. She knew what she needed to do. Either she had her coach calling it out or she's got the mental calculus in her head. Look at that smile. She is thrilled. Acknowledging the fans there. Won't take her hands off the handlebars. Doesn't want to take that chance. She's talking to somebody on the infield there. Maybe a coach, maybe someone who's giving her those prompts. But look at her coming back for it. She's got Coles Leister marked, and she says, "You're not going to beat me on this one." Look at that going around the turns. That is high up on the track. She's got a long line to go, and she's going so much faster than all the other women in this race. Look at that pedal stroke. She will not be denied. Just sheer intensity to the finish line. The joyous fist in the air.
That might be her easiest lap, easiest 6-lap win of the whole group, the way as far as a spread between her and her closest competitor.
I think that one of the things we say, well, she was out of that 6th lap, and I think she was just recovering because she picked up points in the previous 2 sprints, and she knew all was left was to mark Coles Leister.
And we're going to go trackside again with Gabe Lloyd, who is with our winner, Amber Joseph.
Where are you from?
If you haven't read yet, Barbados.
Barbados. Let's hear it for Barbados. Amber, you found success a few weeks ago. Tell us about that victory. What was it?
It was a Pan American Scratch Race champ.
Pan American Scratch Race champion right here, ladies and gentlemen. That's special. Now, your race here tonight looked hard fought. You were very attentive throughout. Walk us through who you were watching and why.
Well, there's no board to see where everyone's standing, so I just try to race the best race that I could and do as much as I can to try and stay where I was, which I think it worked. So I just try to stay near the front and do everything I can to keep the lead. So.
Well, you did. You won our Omnium here tonight, so let's have one more round of applause for your champion, Amber Joseph. Great racing here. We'll see a lot more of her coming up in the next few nights.
There you see Amber Joseph. That was a really good run area. You're kind of a sleeper. Those longer lap races, you got to really hang with it and stay on top of it. But when it's that close, those last sets of points given out at 18 are so important.
I think she really downplayed there because Gabe knew as well. So that's why he asked her the question. She knew exactly who she had to mark. I just think she didn't want it. She was trying to be polite and not say who she marked.
Right, and I agree. And you had pointed that out actually almost 5 laps out that she knew it all the way around. You were watching who in the heck she was following. Now we have a little bit of a tandem. These bikes are always interesting, Gary. The tandem exhibition match. And that's a lot of weight on those guys going around the track. This takes a lot of teamwork. We did see them warming up before the festivities tonight got underway.
These bikes can go super fast because you have 2 people pedaling on the direct drive. And it gets, both of them have to be in unison. So it's got to be really smooth. The rider in the front, we call him the pilot. He or she the pilot because they're steering the bike. The biker in the back is the stoker. And all they're doing is pedaling as hard as they can, and they're just, what you just kind of see, they'll be the ones taking the look, not the pilots.
There you see they're going to set up. That's a lot of weight out there. And this is not an odd couple. One can't be sloppy and one neat. These guys both have to be neat all the way on the bikes.
They've got to be smooth between them. And we've already seen there's so much pressure put on these bikes, the mid-frame. It's so long, you think, okay, it's a bicycle made for two, right? Well, when you're putting them through the speed and the centrifugal force they're doing on these turns, they actually break. We've seen bikes break. The whole frame just break off. There was a special bike built for actually Marty Nostine and one of his teammates back in the mid-90s for Team EDS. Broke on its first match sprint here. Just came right apart. So it's not just about the welds or anything like that. There's just so much force put on these frames as they go around when they pick up speed.
There you see the two riders. This is, wow, there's a huge drop.
He dropped down up. He came on. He cannot pass if he's down below the blue band. So there's a little bit of sportsmanship there. They took it back up to the top to allow them back on the track and not keep them down. But he was the pilot there in the lead bike. He did all he could to avoid that crash. Now you see the drop down. One bike, the bike in the rear has the arrow wheels in front. They should have a better way to cut through, but now you see them taking the top of the track, diving down. Ooh, this is dicey. Slicing and dicing. Got the sprinter's lane, which is, it's shorter distance, but they are getting crushed.
Wow, that's some impressive pedaling right there.
That was an impressive ride, for sure.
That was scary, actually, to be in this seat. A couple of them, man, they're going to hit each other.
Chip, I do believe you turned away in horror at one point.
I think when they were coming out of turn 2, if we have that, I thought somebody was going down on that one.
That was some. I don't know if I should call it impressive or scary.
I'm going to go scary.
There were some moves there that were just kind of intense. Here you have dive down into the sprinter's lane, trying to control a sprinter's lane, and then you just get out sprinted from above. That's just impressive. Impressive work. And the riders in the front, I do believe they have a smaller gear on there. You see their pedal strokes going so much faster, but I think that's why they're able to get their speed going.
It didn't look as scary as that on the replay.
One of the things people understand about pedaling is that there's a giveaway between your pedal stroke and the gear size. So the smaller the gear size, the faster you can get your pedal stroke. And there's a return there. There's a loss in distance, but there's a return in pedal stroke that you get back because it's the amount of revolutions you can make the wheel turn.
And I want to thank the rest of the crew here tonight. Tyler Long, Utility, John Jagalski, Joel Seam, Audio, Video, Scotty Richardson, Other Video, Joe Wolokovitz, Jason Huffman, Truck Stats and Stats for Us, Nick Altieri, the graphics that you see, Dave Kaufman, and our director, of course, tonight, generally always at the Velodrome, Mr. Dwayne Long. I want to thank everybody for their talents and skills to make this presentation on Service Electric Network.
And as we get these big bikes off, there will be more tandem racing the second day of UCI racing. This is a 2-day event, actually. So this is day 1. Tomorrow will be day 2. Looks like they're going to wind them up a second time here. So we're getting 2 laps of exhibition from these big bikes.
Uh-oh. I hope this one has a little bit less scary. I'm telling you, I don't know where it was on the clip, but they were coming out of turn 2. I thought they're going to slide right into each other, and this is going to be 4 people pile up.
I don't know. This should be interesting. Because they did take it seriously the last time, for sure. It was a little bit too seriously for what is quote unquote an exhibition.
I agree. When you see the word exhibition, our friend Mike Mittman on the network, he's done boxing exhibitions, but they're kind of like out there dancing and choreographing some of the great fights. Mike did do that in his younger days. See right there, man.
again, taking them to the boards, and I don't know if they're laughing or like getting ready to to react to them in a bike barn later on this evening.
Somebody, I don't know. This isn't indoor lacrosse.
Box lacrosse, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of extra hitting is. I mean, talk about, they're not just scraping paint; they're scraping letters off of billboards right now. And now it's that bike, the bottom bike's turn. Are they going to take the bike with the bearded pilot up to the boards? Let them get some billboard signage on their pedals.
Is that Richardson?
Oh, a big switch down. He's got the sprinter's lane, but will it make a difference now? He's going to take him back up to the top of the track. He's got to slow down good.
This is like watching the Baltimore Ravens play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now I think we're saying we're not going to have any more of this. We're just going to go. We got the bell. We're not going to put up with your games anymore.
Let's see.
Oh, I don't know. There's a little bit of sprint from behind.
Wow.
And now I think they do have the smaller gear. The bike in the sprinter's lane does have the smaller gear. They're pedaling way faster, yet they're just about getting past.
Here they go. They're coming around to the finish line once again. This one's tight.
And that bike on top. The bearded pilot wins.
Now it's 1-1. And on those bikes, we have Josh Hartman, Brian Abers. They're from New York City. And Michael Stevens and Joseph Christensen are on the other. They won the first one. Now they won the second. So are they going to do a third run here? Let's see. Are they just going to leave this a draw?
It's an exhibition, maybe it was conceded. I don't know.
They are waving to the crowd. Hartman and Abers, there you see them. They won heat number 2. Open tandem exhibition. Let's see what happens.
It's 2 sprints in a row. That's kind of tough on anybody.
Yeah, they're
gasping for air.
They're loading it up. They're doing pretty well. Let's see if they're coming around. I don't know. Looks like they're going to do
the third ride.
They're doing
a rubber
third
match.
Gary. Fans want more.
Yeah, the men's sprint finalists are up for 3rd and 4th place. So we have one rider showing up now. It's actually one of the first and second place riders.
Yeah, that's Ryan Duddick. Oh, these guys, are they coming back in for a 3? They're getting a nice round of applause, those doubles riders.
Star Trek. Here's a shot of our velo deck under the tents. Man, gorgeous evening, just comfortable as all heck.
Well, good night riding. Good night to be a fan.
After the last 2 weeks with the heat wave and the humidity, it's nice to have a night like this. We actually had the windows open last night, let the air in the house. It's beautiful.
Turn down the ACs. I think that might be about it. No, it looks like you guys are talking about one more setup.
One more for the road. Or one more for the track, right?
Yes. Let's see if they're doing it. Or are they just lining up some photographs? No, this looks like we're going for number. Oh, they are. They're
rock, paper, scissors. I don't know. I hope the medics are on hand.
Well, that one was a little less hectic for me. I don't know how you feel. That first one was the one that was a little scary.
Well, there were 2 points. The riders, our bearded wonder in the front there, he likes to take the other bike into the billboards.
I think that is Josh Hartman and Brian Abers.
Okay.
Abers is the pilot.
Abers would be the pilot, yeah.
Yep.
And the lower bike could say, we just don't want to have any of this, and we're just going to go for 3 laps.
I'm going to tell you,
It's entertaining as all get out.
this will be a success if they do 3 runs and nothing happens there. I'll be thrilled. I don't want to
coming close. Look at that. Just look at that. Oh.
I'm going to just tell Dwayne I don't want to have to cut away for a commercial.
Yeah, at least they're only scraping bike paint right now. They're not taking them to the billboards.
Yeah,
the dasher boards.
This one might be cleaner than 2. Then it'll be easy.
I think they should ring the bell now. Oh yeah, tapping them.
Great to see.
It's almost like, oh, there you go, headbutt. See, it's just like the Keirin. Keirin used to be.
It is great to see the camaraderie. Oh, that's pretty impressive.
They're putting on a show for sure.
Putting on a nice show. Let's get you guys involved in this. Again, do you guys think the show as a mic and win?
Scary show, but it's a show nonetheless. There we go. Now we're forcing it up.
This is where I get scary when they drop down. I'm okay now. It's when they drop down with that doubles. That just looks so scary relative. You know, you're so used to seeing the singles a little bit smoother.
That's when the stress goes on the frame. You know, you see they drop down for the bell. They've got the sprinter's lane. They had the more speed the last lap. They do have the bigger gear. But now look, around the top, just a longer ride to go. They have to pedal that much faster. You just see they've got the smaller gear on, so they can pedal faster, and that gives them a little bit more distance with each pedal stroke. Then
here they come, and they got it, and that's Stevens. I think that is Joseph Christensen and Michael Stevens. Christensen was the pilot. Stevens, the stoker. They're going to win 2 out of the 3.
Whew. Glad I didn't have to do that.
You and me both. It was tough enough calling it.
Yeah. So my wife and I, we kind of looked like that on the way to Jim Thorpe. I mean, we weren't trying. Almost knocking each other over.
And a nice round of applause, appreciative from the fans. That's a good run.
Everybody's smiling. Everybody's got the rubber side down. Good things, good things.
Here you look.
Staring each other down. A little up, little tap on the helmet there. Reach back. Now we're going to get the headbutts. And actually, you used to see this years ago in Keirin racing, but it was for real. It was like, real headbutts trying to knock the other guy over, and real elbows trying to knock him out.
But here you see them.
It's just a smaller gear. They can spin it around quicker, and the more revolutions they get, the more distance they go. When you opt for the bigger gear, you get the longer distance, the more distance out of your wheel spin, but you've got to work that much harder to get it around.
And now we are going to go to the Elite Men's Sprint. This is for 3rd and 4th place, so this should be Jinwei Tang. And he is going against Tommy Quinn, and they both are wearing the same color, so good luck.
Different helmets.
Different helmets. Jinwei Tang, I believe. White helmeted. And Quinn in the black helmet. So there you go, folks. Now there's a little difference in those 2 helmets. The one a little more aerodynamic.
Well, they're both aerodynamic. One's more teardrop. The other one is just a smaller profile. And it just goes to preference. What you feel safest in, what you feel more comfortable in. Tang from behind.
Yeah, I never had to wear a helmet while I was bowling.
Did you wear a wrist guard?
I do wear a wrist sport.
Now, my friend in England, he does bowls, right, where they roll the ball out and they have a jack, establish a jack, and then you've got to actually got to do it with him. He's actually in his county championships because he moved to a new county. When they saw him, they were calling in to the county recorder for them that this guy needs to be on our national team. So I bowled against the national level bowler in England.
There you go.
Whoa! What a move up that track there, coming out of the sprinter's lane.
Wei Tang, they are tight.
Tang is holding it, and that is like elbow to elbow. That was great racing. Quinn coming up a little bit high on the back straight, out of the sprinter's lane.
So
But-
Wei Tang takes the first
Okay,
of the two.
Gives him a congrats. Say, hey, it's okay. Trying to give him congratulations on a good move. Quinn didn't seem to want any of that.
Wei Tang, a good run. Now we'll go to the finals. This is going to be Evan Boone.
Again, this is best of 3, so that was the first ride.
Here's a look.
Here's coming high out, trying to block him. He came out of the sprinter's lane to block him, but it didn't do any good because Tang is just too determined. He's just throwing that bike down. Just look at that movement.
And a nice run by Wei Tang. They'll have to win one more to take third place. And here are the two finalists, Evan Boone and Ryan Dodick. Boone with the blue and yellow.
I came back from Afghanistan and spent 2 years in a hospital in 2014. And ever since I was introduced to cycling as a form of adaptive sport, my family's never been able to watch me race. I've raced all over the world, just narrowly missed out on going to the Olympics, but my mother has watched me for the very first time ever on a bike. And my beautiful fiance is getting to watch me for the first time as well. So I want to say thank you all for the hospitality. It's amazing to race here in front of all of you.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, to T-Town, it's been an honor, and thank you for your service, sir. Michael Stewart.
There you have, he was riding in the exhibition match on the doubles part, the doubles. Now,
Tandems.
Michael. Yep, the tandem bikes, pardon me.
We talk about veteran riders. That truly is a veteran, and we salute you, sir, and thank you for your service.
We go back now to the Elite Men's Sprint Final. This is for first and second place.
Again, best of 3. Dodick with the stars on the sleeve. Boone with the yellow on his sleeve.
Boone with the yellow part.
Or with the white
Switch
stripe
them
on the
around.
helmet.
Yep. Boone with the white stripe. I'm gonna, Dudek, I think for me, Ryan was so impressive in those first 2 runs.
Yes, he was. And Wei Tang is a very fast racer, and to see the way he dominated that was pretty impressive.
So let's see what goes here.
With Boone leading out the first lap, unless he voluntarily gives up the lead. Dodick taking a tour. Just checking out the track, trying to see how Boone reacts. Little fakes, little jabs, little...
That is Dudek, Gary, in the blue and yellow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dudek is 34, so he's leading it out. Here he goes. He was impressive in his first 2 runs. There he goes again, Gary.
And he is just taking off.
But right behind him, Boone. This is a great run. Wow.
So
And Evan Boone takes the first run. I'm a little surprised. I thought Dodick was going to be able to do it. They exchange a little high five. Evan Boone takes the first one. What a good run by Boone.
Yes, it was. Just smart racing.
Here you go. Here's a look.
Just into the slipstream, pulling up side by side. Look at those inverted Y handlebars. This gives you better aero positioning for your elbows in and for form.
Good shot of the finish line. We'll shift now, and they're going to go to women's Keirin.
So right here in the book, we have 2 heats in the women's Keirin, I do believe.
Here's the women's Keirin. We do have Heat 1 and Heat 2. in this heat number 1. We have Anja Thomas, Lily Plant,
Yeah, this is the under 23.
Kayla Hankins, Amber Joseph, and Erin Atwell. They're in heat number 1. And if I got it right, let's find out.
And there will be an elite women's Keirins final. Leaders.
On here, they ran this morning. Sorry, folks. I'm not sure. There's only 3 riders out there, so that's what this is. 3 advanced to the final, so I'm not sure if this is 7 through 12. I'm not sure if this is 7 through 12 place.
Some of the women were in the Omnium and may have elected to withdraw.
Could be.
Although this is Ruby West is out there, Amber Joseph.
This is a 5 lap. This is the final 7 through 12. So you must have had some riders just choose not to run.
Yeah, we have Nagare Barclaw, number 19, Amber Joseph, 32, and Ruby West, 30. Those are our only riders in this heat. Oh, yes.
So grab these numbers again as they flip around. So Lily Plant, Missouri Barclaw, and Ruby West. So this must be for 7, 8, and 9th place.
10, 11, 12, that's number 3.
Right. So this is for 7, 8, and 9. Barclaw, West, and
We do have 6 women sitting in the ready area.
so they must be in the finals. 1 through 6 would be my guess.
2 laps to go. Coming up on the bell.
And this is Rider of the Year points. So an important run. They're going to get the bell right here. Last lap to go. 7, 8, and 9th place. 7, 8, and 9th
We just
place.
had Barclaw take the leader at the bell. Take the lead at the bell. This is going to be a 2-woman race for 7th and 8th. 9th place has dropped back.
And right now, we're leading it out.
Ruby West is behind. But your big push at the end, did she get her? Oh, it was so close. It was so close at the end. Ruby West, a big push at the end. Was it enough to catch?
Barclaw.
She's looking back. Neither one looks happy. Usually you can tell who won by their reaction, but they're both kind of nonplussed. Here's the push. Here comes Ruby West. Big push, nice and smooth. Oh, no, she does not get her.
Here it is. Nice close look from the inside.
Barclaw.
Down low and makes
Great
it,
shot.
as you always call that person down low, just a little bit less ground to cover.
And that's the difference. I mean, when you're talking 0.02 of a second, when you have to go a half less meter, that's it. That covers the distance.
So Barclaw 7th, West 8 as I have it, and Blunt finishes 9th. So now we'll do 1 through 6.
Actually, we only have 3 riders up again. No. Now we have
4. Here comes
4,
number
5.
5. They're falling out of the sky here at the Valley
There are
Preferred Cycling
6.
Center.
2, 4,
Now
6. There are 6.
we got 6.
With 6, you get egg roll.
And here they are. Aaron Atwell, 9:18. Allison Wazalewski, 2:36. Kayla Hankins, Sarah Van Dam, Asia Thomas, and McKenna McKee.
McKenna McKee is who we saw survive that incredible crash last week, and to come back and take second place in the Keirins.
Second, not tonight, folks. She did that. She big accident last week, and she comes back that night and finishes in second place.
Now the fresh legs here belong to Allison Wazalewski, our Warfield girl. And I say girl, but they're women, and I do take a bit of hit for that every now and then. It's no offense intended. I've known them since, most of them since they're very young. So to me, they're always girls. But
yeah, you've been out here at the Velodrome, the second home, for about how long here?
like more than 30 years. They don't want to go beyond that. Well, I don't want to.
I don't want to admit to going beyond 30.
I don't want to count beyond that. It's too taxing to my mind.
Here we go.
It's rider 18, Aaron Atwell, behind the motor. Wazalewski does have the fresh legs. She was not in the Omniums. She is a talented sprinter. I believe that's McKee at the back of the pack. You can tell by her taped leg. I actually saw her on the bridge earlier today. And she kind of smiled and gave a wave. And she's like everything was okay.
Yeah, a couple of riders down there with some nasty strawberries from last week.
Yeah, that is McKee at the back. So now she's making a move to go up front. She does have great speed. Motor's going to be pulling off here. Right now, the distance for the riders isn't so great because you do have the draft with everybody. Wazalewski in second position right now.
Atwell leading it out.
Wazalewski making sure she's got everybody looking at the back of the field. Content to let Atwell have the front. Now there's a move for over the top. Third place rider, number 247, Hankins. Hankins takes the lead going to the final lap.
Kayla Hankins right now heads into the back stretch, but here comes somebody over the top.
That's Wazalewski coming high. They're just pushing it. And Wazalewski with the big lead coming out of turn 4.
Allison Wazalewski's going to be number 1. Hankins, I think, number 2. I could catch both of those. Allison Wazalewski walks it home.
And just a smart race by her. She didn't want to get penned in. She let everybody take their time. She knew who she had to look out for and just made sure she didn't get pinned in. The McKee coming over the top, going after the motor pulled off. It was an attempt to keep people pinned in, but I don't think it worked.
Here's a look.
See, McKee is back in 4th place right now there. Just Wazalewski over the top. Just look back. Coming in through the turns yet. Down. Just look at that power. Look at that speed.
Now drops down, and it's all over.
Hey, she took. I mean, it was a 4-woman race, and she just took from behind over the top, took control of the sprinter's lane, and rode it home. So congratulations, Allison Wazalewski. UCI points.
Toast was cooked in turn number 3.
Now we're going to have a big field coming up with the UCI Elite Men's Elimination Final. So again, this is like the missing out.
A bunch of riders.
We don't have to worry about points on this one.
No, just watch the back
until the end. Although with the women's, it did kind of end.
Yes, interestingly.
No, the riders weren't even sure what happened there, so we'll have to see what happens here in the men's race at the end.
This field has my favorite number that I used to tell the kids at school, 11,100. We're just going to start telling you who's not in. That'll make it a heck of a lot easier.
Jim Krupka is
telling
not in
you
the
that,
race.
well, I'm not in. And luckily for the fans, Jim Krupka's not in this race. I would be the first one out. That would be this race. I could do finishing first.
You'd get your name mentioned
First, right.
twice for
Right.
being in it and for
Being out of it.
And they're off.
You know, that is a bit of a conundrum because when you're the first one out, you're the first at something.
Exactly.
So I could handle this.
It's like the winner of the slowest lap.
That's correct. Would they let me out there on a bike with brakes? That's all I need to know.
No, they would not.
Come on.
Here's the gun.
This would be the scary part for me. The gun would go. Could I stay back far enough to just be out?
Will anybody play a game here? That's we always call it at the back of the pack, devil take the hindmost. So the devil takes the back position and tries to pip somebody at the start-finish line to eliminate them rather than themselves.
There we go.
Some people make a game out of it for about 10 or 20 laps. We're not going to have that this time. Rider number 31 off the pack right away.
Picked off. 31 is gone. Daniel Brewer.
So a winner, now a first-time outer.
Yes.
He's kind of looking up a little surprised, like, what the heck?
Maybe
I
he
thought I
thought
was ready for this one.
Maybe he thought he was the winner.
I thought this was first one out wins. We got some speed coming from behind, and rider 14 is eliminated. That is Robert Mayfield.
Mayfield. It's going to be gone. Service Electric subscribers, hang on to your hats. Music Fest around the corner.
The chicken dance back.
Yeah, but does the chicken dance have a missing out? Ooh.
Now you see John Kroom with the Stars and Stripes jersey on there.
Michael Miller.
Eliminated. But you see John Kroom with the Stars and Stripes jersey on. He won the national championship in this last weekend. He is wearing the Stars and Stripes jersey of a national champion in the event.
He wants people to know who he is and where he is.
It is his right.
That's correct.
For the rest of the year, as long as he's the reigning national champion.
Andrew Duddle.
Rider 221. Gone but not forgotten.
Oh, sorry. Dennis Ramirez gets the boot. There we go. Now somebody really wants to be out. Bradley Green? Oh, Andrew Duddle. That time it is Duddle.
Yeah, that was Ramirez.
And every once in a while.
He just stayed with it. He should have dropped off the track.
Every once in a while, I think they get a little confused.
241 came out, you said the last one?
Yeah, I thought
Hey,
it
he's
was-
still
no,
racing.
Duddle.
He's still in there.
Well, somebody. Now we got.
He's at the bottom of the track still.
That's Bradley Green. I was just a little early with Bradley Green. That's right. How can you forget Bradley? I won't forget Bradley Green any other race now because he's got the striped jersey on and it isn't green.
Now you got a race at the back.
Oh,
Looks like rider 37.
Christopher Heineman.
That's right. That was
Heineman
Yes, Chris
is
Heineman.
gone. Heineman was the hindmost.
Heineman from Edmonton.
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Edmonton, the old Edmonton Wills.
Yes. Now,
Ooh, that was tight.
Oh, they're telling Sam Morris.
From Mighty Cycling Club out of
Yeah.
West Vancouver.
Sam Morris did not have the code to hang in there. Oh, that's another easy one.
Rider 28. Tristan Manderfield.
Vanderfield leaves the field. Tristan leaves the field. Wait. Oh, he was. That was funny. That was a good camera shot. He was like looking up, like, well, what me?
Alfred E. Newman. Who, me? That reference might be lost on a lot of people. I just realized.
Ooh,
44 at the
down ball.
bottom. It's Connor Salee
Connor Salee.
from Fort Lauderdale. I guess he's happy to be out of Florida in the summertime.
Yeah, glad to be up here in this kind of weather.
November, December, a little different.
Right.
This past February.
That guy called himself out. That Cesar Gallego. He kind of like threw in the chips right out of turn 4.
I'll tell you, we're seeing more of the Metro New York riders this season than we've seen in a long, long time. I remember we used to see them a lot in the late 80s, early 90s, then they kind of disappeared. Now this year we're really seeing them. Whoa, was it John Kroon?
It is. John Kroon gets bumped. I think the New Yorkers came now, Garrett, because the Mets are playing good. You notice you didn't see him around when the Mets were not good.
Here we have the national champion called out there with plenty of laps to go yet. I think he just got caught. I think he felt comfortable there in the middle of the pack, and he just got surpassed.
That is Danielle Matthews. Danielle Matthews.
So our Kutztown rider. Now he knows and acknowledges, goes to the top of the track.
I'm not saying anything about how many riders are going down to, by the way. You notice I'm staying away from that.
Now you got an effort over the top because rider number 35 is eliminated. That's Gerald Eastman.
Eastman is taking a powder.
Now why a rider would take a flyer is beyond me.
Because he doesn't want to be anywhere near the back.
And you notice the lap count is off.
No, so this must just be basically a scratch race with a missing out.
Down to 1, 2, 3, down to 6.
Somebody else going. Ooh, that's another tight one. Yep. Agronchuk.
That's more like a hockey name than any other
Yeah,
name we've
he
seen
should be.
tonight. Agronchuk.
Yeah, he's more used to getting assists.
Sounds like a power forward or a defenseman.
Either one.
46. Edwin Sutherland.
Sutherland is
Team
out.
Stoley.
Team Stoley.
Yes.
Yeah, but look at this. I think
Barbados.
everybody's worried about who's last. Meanwhile, our winner is now like a third of a track ahead. Is that 59? I thought it was a 9. Matthias Gamay is the guy
out front,
roasting the field right now.
Guess he's still a little bit upset about that points race.
So there he is. He's out in front, and he is figuring
don't leave anything
it's
to
just
chance.
going to be the winner now, and everybody else kind of like just now he's a half track ahead.
I think after the way the women's race finished, where literally the women on the track didn't know what was going on, I think he's just saying, "I'm not going to put it to chance. I got the chops."
Yep. Matthias Gamay.
And that's it. So he is the winner in the UCI Elite Men's Point Race. Excuse me, the elimination race.
Gamay from Canada wins it, figuring, hey, you questioned why he went out front. Now we know why he went out front.
Again, like
that ain't happening to me.
And like I said, the riders in the women's race were genuinely confused at the end.
I agree.
I think he just thought, I'm not going to put it to chance. They took the lap card counter down, so I'm not going to worry about it. I've got the chops. I'm still ticked off about the points race.
Now it looks like we should be back to the sprint. Final potential. Don't want to cut it off short. There you look. Great shot of the evening. Lights on. Down in turn 2, turn 3. That is turn 2, turn 3, plus the backstretch. A couple folks out there in the bleachers enjoying tonight's racing.
That back straight is so big. It's back in the day when they had the actual World Cup race here. That was packed. The Olympic trials. They really built this seating capacity up so much that you can have a great crowd here compared to those days. It still doesn't look as big because the seating has been so much expanded. Now we'll have ride number 2 between Jinwei Tang, rider 225 with the white helmet, and rider 223, Tom Quinn with the black helmet. Both riders for Edge Cycling. Looked like there was a little bit of love lost in that last race between them. Jinwei Tang extended his hand to say good race, and Tom Quinn didn't even acknowledge the hand was extended.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I'm going to go with maybe didn't see it.
Yeah, that could be. Tang being held by Jamie Alvord, our men's national champ in the kilo, and Quinn is being held by Coach Andrew Harris.
And there they go. This will be a 2-lapper. This is to determine 3rd place in the elite men's sprint. You see there on the graphic, 3rd and 4th.
Tang has to lead this one for the first lap, unless he voluntarily relinquishes it.
Tang already up by 1 and would be the best out of 3. Tang right now staying in the lead. There goes
Quinn drops down into the sprinter's lane. Quinn drops down into the sprinter's lane, and he puts it on. He turns it on at the bell. He wants the full lap sprint out of this one. Tang looks really calm behind him. Just real smooth. I don't know if Tang has enough time. Does he to come over the top? He does. I believe Tang got him at the line. Tang very calm behind him. Very calm behind Quinn. Letting Quinn throw the bike around like spaghetti, take as much width in the sprinter's lane that he wanted. And it looked like he just got enough. Let's see that again on replay. It looked like Tang just got enough.
He took a page out of Marty Nelstein's book, running from behind. Jinwei Tang is going to finish in 3rd, which means that Thomas Quinn will finish in 4th place.
See, that was just a confident ride by Tang. He just knew that he had the speed. He watched everything going on in front of him, didn't panic, just nice and smooth. He kept the bike real steady. Meanwhile, Quinn was throwing it around, trying to think, I'm going to block him if he comes out. And watch, you can watch in the back, look nice and smooth and steady. And you see Quinn, look at him, throw the bike around, try and take him so he can't come over the top. Throwing the bike around. And Tang just so smooth, super slick. It's a long gap, and he's got a slipstream that's giving him acceleration. And he comes over the top, uses that slipstream, and just a little push here at the end. You can see him extend the elbows, and by that little elbow extension, it allowed him to take over the finish line.
So Tang finishes 3rd, Quinn finishes 4th. And now we have the men's final. 1st and 2nd place, Dodick, number 34, Boone, number 30, Dodick in the blue and the yellow, Boone in the white, striped arm sleeve. Boone's got a hold off Dodick. Dodick has had a good night.
Dodick has been impressive. Won in straight rides against Quinn.
There we go with Dodick. Now he makes his move, goes up high, Gary. He's been impressive.
Oh, look at that run. He's just going to, again, another full lap sprint. Not going to let anything to chance. He's got the sprinter's lane. He's low.
Dodick ahead of Boone as they head into turn 3. Here comes
Boone's
Boone.
putting it on in the curve. He's coming out of 4 with it almost even. He's got speed over the top. And we have the man with the starred sleeve winning that heat, tying it at 1-1.
Evan Boone is going to win. He's going to even the match.
So now we will have a ride, a third ride. It will not be a straight ride win for Mr. Doddick.
Oh, there's Boone. They're saying Boone's the winner, so I had the winner the last time around.
Okay.
Wow, I'm sorry. Sorry, I apologize to Mr. Boone. Here he comes.
It's just a spirited run. Speed going down like crazy. Look at that.
So both of the rides here for
It
the
was straight
sprint
rides.
go only 2
Straight
out of
rides.
3. They don't carry into the third rubber match. And now the women will come to the track. The Keirins final. Five laps.
So this is the elite. The last was the under 23 Keirin final. This is the elite Keirin final.
Jackie Boyle, Maya Dye, Mary Wentz, McKenna McKee, and Amber Joseph. And she's not
I don't see Joseph.
going to
in
run.
this.
No, Joseph's not going to run. Though there's only 4 riders.
So again, this one is paced by the. This is for 7 through 10. And it's being paced by the motorcycle for 2.5 laps. The motorcycle will pull off, and then the women will go into sprint mode. So, again, it's Jackie Boyle, Mia Day, Mary Wentz, and McKenna McKee. And they're just, again, this is where they're content to sit in their positions. I believe that's Guy behind the motor right now. No, that's Boyle behind the motor, excuse me. Now you have McKee making a move out of the back. This is her move always to, before the motor pulls off, she likes to be in the back and then come up, maybe pen some riders in, establish her position, and then she can attack when necessary.
Here they go. They'll have 2 laps to go. Next time around, they'll get the bell.
We got a little race here at the front. Riders eyeing each other up. McKee over the top in the back straight. She's keeping her options open.
They'll wait to get the bell as they come into turn 4.
She's a little dicey. She's going up and down. She's trying to find a space, make sure she's not going too far. That is rider 20, Jackie Boyle with the lead in red jersey.
Boyle holds it out right now down the backstretch for 7th place.
Out of the saddle, she looks pretty strong. She was taking a look back back in turn 2 for like no reason really, because no one went with her. So it will be Boyle for place 7, followed by Day for place 8. So that was a very smart race by Boyle.
That should mean in this race for the finals, it should be Hassan Rodriguez, Kayla Hankins, Allison Wazalewski, Dahlia Palmer, Sarah Orban, and Mandy
You're
Marquardt.
a national champion, the newly crowned national champion from last weekend. And she's there in the Stars and Stripes jersey, so she'll be easy to spot. She will be the woman that everyone wants to mark.
And here she is.
Wasilewski coming off the U23 championship just now. It'll be interesting to see how much she has left in her legs.
Here's Mandy Marquardt. First onto the track.
Being held by Jamie Alver, her fiance. Also the men's kilo champion. See Allison Wasilewski being pushed up by Andrew Harris, the coach of Edge Cycling. She's got the top position on the track.
Yep, Sarah Orban. It is Mandy Marquardt, Kayla Hawkins, Sarah Orban, Delilah Palmer, Nicole Joanne Rodriguez Hoaxson, and Allison Wasilewski.
So all eyes will be on Marquardt. Wasilewski will be interesting to see what she's got left for this, because this is basically after
basically a sprint.
2 sprints, she's got to do another sprint. So
right, and again, Rider of the Year points, so in a very important race.
Marquardt at the bottom of the track in the Stars and Stripes jersey. Wasilewski at the top of the track in the red jersey. Waiting for the motor to come around. And here it is. They're off. Who's going to get that? Is it Marquardt going to get the wheel? She's going to get the motor. Motor's a good place to be because you do less work, but sometimes it's a bad place to be because you can't get pinned in.
And I think there are riders over the years, some prefer to be close to the cycle, some prefer to be further away from the cycle.
Some want to be right behind it, and then when the motor pulls off, they just want to take the lead and go the whole way because they don't want to be involved in any of the extracurriculars that sometimes happen in the Keirin, which mostly have been regulated out over the past 10 years. But there's still gets dicey. You'll still see crashes galore. In the Olympics, you'll see crashes in the Keirin. World Championship crashes in the Keirin almost always.
There you go. 3 laps to go. The bike will drop off.
Marquardt took a quick peek
shortly
back there to see if anybody was coming over the top.
I think she was keeping an eye on Wasilewski.
Coming over the top, coming out of last place there, coming over the top. Almost as a wingman to Marquardt at the moment. Another side by side. Wasilewski takes the lead. Motor's off. Wasilewski's with the lead. Wasilewski, Marquardt, followed by Palmer. Dahlia Palmer.
Wasilewski holds down the lead. Here's Marquardt. I think it's going to be those two. They've got 2 laps to go right now. They've got the field boxing. Here comes somebody over the top.
behind her, whoever's coming over the top. Marquardt takes the lead now because she feels the pressure being pressed as we go into the bell lap. Marquardt looking behind her. There's rider number 26, I believe it is.
Marquardt leading it out. Here she is down the back stretch. She's on to turn 3 with the lead.
And as she proved last week at Nationals, no one here is going to catch her. She is Olympics worthy. And there we have a crash.
And Mandy Marquardt is going to win it. A couple of riders down in turn 4. I think Wasilewski was in the back of the pack. I'm not sure if she was trying to make a move.
No, Wasilewski made it through.
She did make it.
She made it through. She finished 4th.
So there's your winner right there. Mandy Marquardt is going to take the race. And unfortunately, we have a crash in turn 4.
Marquardt just won that going away. Was not pressed.
Here you see your guy. This is turn 1.
Here's rider 26. I believe that's where the crash occurs. She got bumped by the rider below and hit the rider above her. Got part break off of the bike.
That would be Dahlia Palmer if it's rider 26.
And who she bumped, I was not quite sure. She bumped Wasilewski?
All right, so Wasilewski might have got bumped. There's a look at our winner, Mandy Marquardt, wrapping it up here at the Valley Preferred Cycling Center for the evening. So for our director, Dwayne Long, our entire crew, and my partner, Gary Blockus, Jim Kripke saying, watch us again on SEN.